Welcome to this week's game news show. The hottest stories in gaming you've heard since last week. I don't know where I'm going with that. Let's jump into it. We got the state of play happened last week. Did anybody watch it? I did. I didn't find anything I liked in it. It was weird. Like, the VR focus was cool. Those games look okay, but who's buying a PSVR 2? And then everything else culminating in the Suicide Squad game. And then details on that game coming out being a live service game and not just a single player game. I wasn't interested in the Suicide Squad game to begin with. Now I'm less interested. So yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people did not enjoy that state of play. There was a lot of weird, like just nothing. They made a big deal about a whole lot of nothing. So yeah, that was, I don't know. It wasn't a waste of time. I had it on in the background, but it kind of felt like a waste of time if that was your whole goal. Glad we didn't do a reaction stream to it. What else do we have? We got, E3 news. Nintendo is not going. So E3 is more like E0. Without Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo showing up, what's the point? You got the big three gone. Now, I know that's not what E3 stands for, but like, come on. You've got the big three companies just not going. What are you showing? Indie games? That doesn't need a huge convention, although that would be kind of cool. Just a huge indie game convention. I just don't think the E3 name would do it justice. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer. E3's looking like a big nothing burger this summer. Bets on if Nintendo does anything this summer regarding a direct or any sort of event. Probably, but we'll see. All right, moving into bigger stories. Halo Infinite Season 3, Echoes Within, got a new trailer, and wow, it looks good. Looks like they're fleshing out their multiplayer narrative a little more, which is cool because the last two seasons kind of touched on it a little bit, but didn't make a huge deal out of it. Then with all the delays from Season 2 to 3, the winter update, and all of that going on, it looks like they're finally getting their legs when it comes to delivering on live service stuff. Bunch of new maps. Quite a few Forge maps, which might make some people unhappy, but Forge this time around is pretty good. So it's not like with Halo 5 where the Forge maps looked objectively different than the like in-engine maps that were made by the devs. So yeah, it looks cool. Some of the maps that they showed, pretty solid. We got a new weapon, the M392 Bandit. Looks pretty cool. That's all I can say about it. I haven't used it, so I don't know. It was in the Championship Series this past weekend, and I think people enjoyed the way it looked, so I'm excited for that. I wonder if they're going to like retroactively add this into campaign, because that would be kind of neat to be able to use it through like a story playthrough, but probably not. It's probably going to stay just multiplayer if I had to guess, but I haven't seen anybody ask, so I don't know. We also got some new equipment. The Shroud screen seems kind of neat. It was used in the HCS series this past weekend. You know, esports Halo gets taste and demoing all the new things first, so kind of cool. We also got a new mode, Escalation Slayer, which if you're familiar with like Call of Duty's gun game, basically that you get progressively better weapons as it goes. And we got a new battle pass. So lots of new stuff coming. There's some new armors. There's some new things that you can buy in the shop. As with every new service game's seasons, there's more ways to spend money on content for a game that you may or may not have already purchased. I like the way the game looks like it's progressing now. I mean, adding a new weapon, bunch of new maps, new game modes, new equipment. That seems like where it needs to be, and then a little bit of a narrative to just make playing multiplayer and adding story-driven events throughout the season even better. So looking forward to this. I'm loving Halo Infinite. So, again, looking forward to this. I think it's going to be good. All right, let's get into the biggest thing. We had the Pokemon Day, Pokemon Presents. I believe that was yesterday morning. Monday was a long day. We had a lot of news come out of this. So we'll start with some of the lighter stuff. Pokemon Home news, integration coming to Scarlet and Violet. You'll be able to move Pokemon around from your games using Pokemon Home. You'll be able to get out of Pokemon Go the little form of Gimmighoul to transfer into Scarlet and Violet, which was shown at the launch of the game last year. But Pokemon Home just wasn't developed out for Scarlet and Violet support yet, so that's finally coming at some point. We finally got Pokemon Sleep. it's real. And so if you forgot about it, well, Nintendo Pokemon Company just reminded us it exists. So now there's a whole game around you sleeping and encountering Pokemon when you wake up. Concept seems kind of cool. I don't know if I'll ever use it. I may install it and try it one night, but I think my question is, what are they doing with my sleep data? What does the Pokemon Company need to know about my sleeping habits or lack thereof? We also got a Pokemon Go Plus. If you're a developer, that joke is hilarious. If you're not, that joke is weird. That name is weird. So this works with Pokemon Sleep as a sleep tracker, but also in Pokemon Go as a way to catch Pokemon. And I don't really know what else. Cool. Another accessory for your phone to play Pokemon Go with. Yeah, okay. We also got a look at how the game will work and track your sleep. As far as Pokemon Sleep goes, pretty neat. Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic. This is one of my favorite announcements out of this. This looks awesome. It is a premium Pokemon TCG set that has 3 theme decks from the original base set 1. You know, super cool. With like some 3D damage counters, a roulette like ball thing for instead of flipping coins and rolling dice. The whole thing looks very nice, very collectible, and a great way to just kind of commemorate the original Pokemon series of cards. I think 100% I want to get it, but it depends on how much it costs, right? It looks very nice. It's got a hard case. It's almost like it's like a premium version of what the Pokemon TCG Battle Academy set did, which is really cool because it almost makes playing TCG like a board game that you can play over and over, you know, using the pre-built decks. So that's kind of a cool way to just remember the Pokemon TCG, maybe introduce your kids to it while looking very fancy. And I think the board itself will be useful for any serious TCG players out there that want to look expensive. No, I think it's an awesome thing though. All right, the meat of this. We got the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC. This was the big announcement. I skipped over some little stuff that you may or may not care about, but the biggest thing is the Scarlet and Violet DLC, The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero, a 2-part DLC coming in fall. Part 1 in fall, Part 2 in winter. Part 1 is called The Teal Mask. Part 2 is called The Indigo Disc. We've got some new Pokemon, returning Pokemon, some clothes you can get if you pre-order the double pack or whatever. It didn't seem as complicated as the Sword and Shield DLC in the trailer. You can go ahead and pre-order it now, and you'll have access to a Hisuian Zoroark and these outfits, I think when the DLC actually launches. Nice to see some more customization options. We got some new legendaries. Ogerpon, which is the green mask thing, and Terapagos, the sea turtle jewel looking thing. Pretty cool looking. I don't know, I kind of like the designs. We also got a look at some of the returning Pokemon here. If you know that excites you, cool. I think it looks legit. I'm glad they're bringing some other Pokemon in that we didn't get, that I guess we normally see in newer gens when they, you know, include stuff from older gens. Doing it through DLC is, I think, the better way to do it. Also with this DLC is a lot of story, and, you know, apparently the DLC is tied together as far as the story goes. Sword and Shield's DLC didn't really do that. So that's kind of cool to see that happen that way. What else we got? We got these 3 guys. I didn't write their names down. They look kind of cool. They are tied together through their little headband, scarf, and necklace looking things. I forgot their names, so that's on me. We also got 2 new Paradox Pokemon. We got past Suicune and future Virizion. What's his name? All right, anyway. Those are in Terra Raids until I think March 12th is the date. So now you can go catch them. People have gotten them. They don't seem too difficult to get. So if you really like the Paradox Pokemon, I think they look neat. But Suicune has been massacred and turned into like an evil T-Rex, and it's weird. And Virizion just looks like it gets good cell reception. All right. Well, that does it. Last thing was, before I forget, The worst news came out of that, and that's the fact that they didn't announce Pokemon Stadium coming to Switch Online finally, nor did they go ahead and announce the classic Pokemon games being added to Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and GBA, which a lot of people were looking forward to with this Pokemon Day video. Maybe it's coming. Maybe either it's going to be added to NSO, or they're planning standalone releases to rake in that dough. I'd like to think it's just going to be added to NSO because that makes too much sense and would drive subscriptions for Nintendo. I have a feeling they're still working out Pokemon Home transferability to replicate that functionality like they had on the 3DS. So, a little bit of a bummer. But that does it for the game news. We're actually done now. I might have done that kind of quick, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you stuck around this far, please hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, click the bell, do the things if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, we're about to play some Halo. Thanks for hanging out, and see ya.